Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, we have completed different kinds of representation of elements, right? And the metals, non-metals, metalloids, and noble gas. Now the topic is compound.
Ma'am, which page number?
44. Compounds. The topic is compound and page number 44. Right? Compound put are pure substances which are formed by the combination of two or more elements. What are the compounds? Compounds are pure substances. Made of formed by two or more elements. Then a compound can have properties different from its constituents. The property are different from its constituents. Right? These constituents can be separated only by chemical means. To understand the formation of compound, let us study of this. Have example, we are having example. These three things, iron and sulfur, react together to form compound. Element and element, both are element. Element plus element. And it forms compound. We are taking here element iron and element sulfur, and it forms FeS. It's a compound, right? What is here? It's a iron, brownish and blackish in color, but sulfur is yellow in color. The formation of FeS, iron sulfide, it is black in color. The yellowish color of sulfur is not here. We are not finding yellow color of sulfur. What is it? Pure substance. It's a pure substance. Pure substance of sulfur and iron, formed by two or more elements. These are here are two elements. The compound is formed by the two elements, and the properties are different from its constituents. These are the constituents. Iron and sulfur are the constituents of FeS, compound FeS. So the property of different from its constituent, the property of iron sulfide is different from the property of sulfur and iron. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Iron is an element attracted by magnet. Here, the pure substance iron can attract the magnet, but in compound FeS, the iron cannot attract the attract the magnet, attracted by the magnet. But sulfur is yellow in color, but in FeS, the yellow color is not we are finding here. So the properties of iron and sulfur is changed after making the compound. Yellow, it is yellow non-metal soluble in carbon disulfide, but here is a property of sulfur is different. Sulfur is not attracting by the magnet, iron is attracting by the magnet. But FeS, the mixture of iron fillings and sulfur powder, iron clings, whereas sulfur does not. FeS, the property of FeS. Iron sulfide. Fe is not attracted by magnet nor it dissolve in carbon disulfide. Look, what is FeS? Iron plus sulfur, it forms FeS. Iron is attracted by magnet and sulfur is dissolved in carbon disulfide. So these are the characteristics of a particular element. The sulfur is not attracted by the magnet, it is not attracted by the magnet, and iron is not dissolved in carbon disulfide, but the property of FeS is now changed. It cannot. Sulfur is here, so it may attracted by the magnet, but not attracted by the magnet. And the sulfur is here, dissolving carbon disulfide. Both characteristics is not found in FeS. The iron is not attracted by the magnet and sulfur is not dissolved in carbon disulfide. So the property of compound is different from the property of their elements. Carbon and compound of iron and sulfur. When iron and sulfur are heated strongly, then what happens? A chemical reaction takes place between iron and sulfur, leading to a formation of iron sulfide, which has got entirely new property. The iron and sulfide has the completely new property, and these properties are, so we can conclude that when two or more elements combine chemically in a fixed proportion by mass, having new property which are entirely different from individual properties, substance formed are known as compound. The property of FeS is different from the property of iron and sulfur. Yes, student, kindly reply. It is clear to you the property of iron, property of sulfur, and property of ferrous sulfide.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have a look at the fill in the blanks. Skill fee. I'm writing answer on the board. With reference to the experiment of combination of iron and sulfur to form a compound, iron sulfide, fill in the blanks, plus forms FeS. On the basis of this reaction, we have to fill in the blanks. Element attracted by magnet. Which element?
Ma'am, turn the camera upside.
Which element is attracted by magnet? Yes? Tell me, which one?
Iron.
Yes? Repeat again.
Iron.
Yes.
Iron.
Iron. This one. Then the next is element soluble in carbon disulfide. Which element dissolve in carbon disulfide? Yeah? Sulfur. Sulfur can dissolve in carbon disulfide. Then compound formed when iron and sulfur combine. When iron and sulfur combine, then which compound is formed? Iron sulfide. Iron's compound is iron sulfide. It is iron sulfide. Color of sulfur. What was the color of sulfur?
Yellow.
Yellow. Then color of compound formed. The color of FeS is black.
Black.
The last one is, does the new compound gets attracted by magnet? No. Wait a minute, student. Hello. हाँ ना ना हाँ नहीं नहीं हाँ आप दे रहा ओके ठीक है हाँ
MI का.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
yeah
Because
Ma'am, your voice is not coming.
now it will come. Characteristics of compounds. It is made up of two or more elements chemically combined in the fixed ratio. See here, the characteristics of this. So the characteristics, it is the combination of two or more substance, the combination of two substance, right? And combined in a fixed ratio. The one atom of iron and one atom of sulfur. So it is in fixed ratio. This is. Then the next characteristics is the property of compound are entirely different from those of its constituents element. The property of FeS is changed from the property of sulfur. It is a homogeneous substance. The compound is a homogeneous. It is equal, almost same proportion having entire compound. It has definite melting and boiling point. The melting and boiling point is fixed. It's a fixed, definite, fixed. Then it exhibits definite chemical and physical property. It has its own physical and chemical property of its own. So these are the characteristics of compound. Now, the difference between compounds and mixture. The difference between compounds and mixture. Have a look at the table which is given on page number 45. Look at the page number 45, the table compound. A compound is a new substance is produced when a compound formed. It's a new substance and formed by the combination of two or more elements. See, what is compound? New substance is produced when the compound forms. It's a compound. Then mixture is no new substance is formed when the mixture forms. Suppose we add sand and wood powder. Then it is not a compound. It's a mixture. It's a mixture because they do not form new substance. They do not form new substance in mixture, right? It contains one substance only. It has only one substance. It's with its own property. But here is it contains two or more substance. Here is a two substance, sand and wood. Two substances. Then the properties of compounds are different from the properties of them. Properties of compound. The property of compound is different from the property of iron and sulfur. But in this mixture, the property of sand is as usual and the property of wood is also as usual. No new property is found here. Then the element in compound can only be separated by the chemical reaction. We can separate it by the chemical reaction. But in sand and wood powder, we can separate by manually. It can be separated by the manually, by hand picking or by sieving or by winnowing. The substance in mixture can often be separated easily or manually. Compounds have definite composition. It has its own composition, but mixture have variable composition. It has different composition. Have you any problem in this? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Look at the worksheet. Give the symbol for the following element. Iron. What is the symbol of iron? Symbol.
Fe.
Yes. Iron is Fe. Then sodium.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, camera please to upside.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Sodium is Na. Silver. Now tell me symbol of silver. And zinc. Silver of symbol is Ag. And the symbol of zinc is Zn. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Now fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Yes. The pure substance always have same composition. Have definite composition. Then element which emit harmful radiations are known as radioactive element. Are known as radioactive elements. 3 are electropositive elements. Metals. Metals are electropositive elements. Do not possess luster nor they produce any sound when beaten, and they are called non-metal. Gases which do not react are known as inert gases. Inert or rare. Inert gases or rare gases. Yes. Done? It is completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Now look at
Yes,
the
ma'am.
next is question 3 on page number 46. Classify the property given below. Formation of new substances. Classify the property given below. Formation of new substance. In which thing the new substances are formed? It is compound. Then separation by physical means. It is mixture. I will write like this.
Ma'am, up the camera.
Yes, formation of compound. Then next is separation by physical means.
Physical means.
It's a mixture. Then cannot be represented by formula. Cannot be represented by formula. Separated by chemical means. Okay. This question I will give you in on Moodle. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next topic I will start in our next class. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I am leaving the class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a nice day.